Heyo, Omni Dogs and Omni Kittens. It's Omni Dog here. How's it going? And we're back to the old way with the low resolution picture. And I apologize because my phone is on the fritz. I've got some issues with it, so I had to go back to the laptop. But it's just for showing books, so it should be okay. I'm not going to be showing any interiors or art or anything, just showing off books that I got on my fabulous trip to Pittsburgh. And I first have to start off with thanking the Minister of Comics, Taylor Brown, who mapped out an itinerary that was perfect. We saw all his favorite, he calls them hidden treasures. I called them honey holes, like Winnie the Pooh's honey hole in the tree. They were places that he frequents, and he felt they had a number of hidden gems, a number of out of print books that were hard to find, that were interesting, and perfect for a treasure hunt. These are graphic novels that I got in Pittsburgh that I either didn't have a good copy of, or wasn't aware of and decided to get into it. So Taylor mapped out perfectly the excellent restaurants we went to, the excellent comic stores we went to. We spent a lot of time with his great family, and kudos to the Minister of Comics. He knows how to entertain a guest, and I just thank you very much, Taylor. I had a great time. And also thanks to Geo from A Week in Geekdom, whose channel you should check out, because he helped me with this thumbnail. And my wife, of course, is the set designer for the thumbnail, and Geo added an extra touch to it that we didn't know how to do. So thank you very much, Geo. And the idea of the trip was to go up to visit Taylor and go to these honey holes and see what treasure we could find. And I found treasure. So we're going to just go through the books one at a time. My haul from Pittsburgh of all the honey holes that the Minister of Comics showed me. We went to 5. There are 20 comic book stores in Pittsburgh. There's hardly any around me. This is the problem. Third Eye Comics in Annapolis is awesome, but it has been picked over as far as hard to find books. Fabulous selection of graphic novels and floppies. Excellent service. I love Third Eye. It's not considered a honey hole. Great for people who want books and stuff, but not these out of print beauties. So let's start. It'd probably be easier to start with. Let me put this figure away that I will show you. Let's start with this side, which is my right, but we're mirrored here. I don't know. Maybe it'll show you the proper way. Rise of the Black Flame. My copy of this is trashed because I just wanted to get it and read it. It's one thing about these honey holes is the books were all immaculate. For a book like this to sit there and it's in perfect shape, I don't know. I'm pretty happy. All these books are in near mint condition, perfect condition, near mint to mint condition, 9.8, whatever. So Rise of the Black Flame. This is a hard to find beauty. And I didn't plan well enough, so I'm going to have to put them on the ground here. That's a bummer. Power Girl. Power Trip. My copy's beat up, and this is immaculate. Here's a copy of a book I didn't have. Question by Greg Rucka. Pipeline. Thin, but hard to find. Greg Rucka with Cully Hamner art. Oh, I said I wasn't going to show art, but I will. Pipeline. I haven't read it yet because I didn't have it. But Minister already reports he also got a copy on our treasure hunt, our honey hole hunt. He's already read it, already gave me a good report. Spider-Man 2099 1 and 2. These are by, I think, let's see, are these by Peter David? Peter David. 1 through 10 and 11 through 14, Annual 1, material from 2099 and Unlimited 1 through 3. My copies were beat up. I just got them off the internet just so I could read them. And I paid more for those than I did for these. I got all these at cover price. And the same with my Big Time Volume 4. Trashy copy that I just wanted to add. Immaculate. And whoop. Same with Demon Knights #1. One thing I will say is I always say that these are the best New 52 books. Demon Knights 1, 2, and 3, trade paperbacks. I, Vampire 1, 2, and 3. Voodoo, which may only have 2 volumes, but if it has 3, maybe it has 3 volumes. I already have that. And then Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. Maybe that's the one that only has 2 books. Voodoo has 3. Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. People get dissuaded from getting these books because they're out of print. All the places we went in Pittsburgh had full runs of those. Demon Knights 1 through 3. I Vampire 1 through 3. Voodoo 1 through 3. Frankenstein Shade 1 and 2. And they're not expensive on. I double checked since these places were flush with them. On eBay, they're not expensive. So I encourage you to get those books if you're a fan of New 52 at all, or you want to read something good from New 52. Those are the titles to get. And just because they're out of print and hard to find, don't let that dissuade you, because they're all over the place in Pittsburgh. But I think they're dirt cheap on eBay too. So do yourself a favor and look for these books. I wish I had held off because mine's beat up and I had to spend money to get a nice copy. Taylor found an interesting book I wasn't aware of. This is called Rebels, and it's a take on the Revolutionary War. And I am very interested in this. And apparently 1 or 2 of these is out of print. I've never even seen it. I had never even heard of it. But I'm a fan of historical fiction, historical war. So Rebels sounded right up my alley. He picked this up for me early, and I paid him back. Then we come to a big string of Batman books that I either was unaware of or thought they had been collected. If they've been collected, don't jam me up too much. I didn't spend a whole lot of money on each one. These are old and cheap. These are way old and cheap. And I needed them to fill out my collection because I didn't have them. Now, where they go in my collection, I'm going to have to research that. But we've got Batman, Gotham County Line, which I had never heard of. We've got, now I've heard of this, Batman Venom, but I'd never gotten it. Now it could be in a collection, but Taylor's pretty good about knowing what's in collections and what's it not. But for some reason, I feel like Venom is in a collection. But it was cool to find this. A lot of treasure hunting is the hunt and the find. Is this collected somewhere else? Maybe. Did I find it? Yes. And that's the fun, is finding these books when you were unaware of them. Also, Batman Officer Down. Was unaware of this book. 3 shots from the darkness, and the Dark Knight's greatest ally has fallen. Commissioner Gordon's been shot. I believe he said it had something to do with a series that had been collected. Now I can't remember. Taylor, you're gonna have to remind me. But it seems to have a kind of tangential point to a Batman series that's collected. But this part's not collected, I don't think. Batman Strange Strange Apparitions. Batman Strange Apparitions. This book is in perfect shape. Oh, and here's Rupert Thorne. I always see him in Batman Adventures. So, I'm pretty sure this hasn't been collected anywhere. Who is the definitive team? Stephen White. It's Marshall Rogers. Maybe it's in a Marshall Rogers Tales of the Dark Knight type collection, but I was pretty pumped to find this. Batman, Four of a Kind. I never even heard of this. Poison Ivy, the Scarecrow, Man-Bat, the Riddler, four deadly rogues whose names spark fear and terror in the hearts of the citizens of Gotham City. Only one name is more terrifying. Batman. I thought I'd been collecting Batman fairly well, and apparently not, because I had not heard of this book. Again, in beautiful condition. I'm gonna have to set these down because I've got a chunk more of Batman books. Batman Blink. Hadn't heard of that. Now, here's the other thing. Maybe you've heard of these books, and maybe you don't like these books. That's okay. That doesn't matter to me. I'm excited to find these books that I had never heard of that can fill holes in my collection. They may be collected elsewhere. That's okay. This is the fun part of my hunt, is finding these things. Batman, the Man and the Beast. He has to... Oh, this is by Peter Milligan. Beware the Wrath of the Bear. What the heck? I don't even remember this. Peter Milligan and Andy Clark? It looks like a Batman black and white book, but... Oh, the art's really good. Now, some of these are going to be... I mean, I'm going to have to figure out where they go in the continuity, obviously. So that's not going to be that much research. And any of these books may be cheap online. I don't know. That was the fun of the hunt. They were right there in front of me. I didn't have to go search for them or anything. Batgirl, Ghost and Batgirl. Team up of Dark Horse and DC. What year was this even made? Yeah, I do love Ghost. I used to read a lot of Ghost. And of course, I love Batgirl. June 2001. This is Cassandra Cain Batgirl. I don't know where it's collected. Maybe it's in the Cassandra Cain collections. It's possible. But this is cool. Then we get to Huntress. This is a New 52 book. I don't know that it... I don't know if... I haven't gotten enough time back. I just got back from Pittsburgh. I don't know if it continues, but this appears to be the first volume. And blah, blah, blah leads into the hit series World's Finest and Earth 2. Collecting the full 6-issue miniseries from Huntress creator leads into the hit series. Okay, so this is the beginning of the World's Finest and Earth 2. I have Earth 2 collected. I don't know if I have World's Finest, but I dug that whole alternate Earth 2, Earth 2 stuff. So it could be in the Earth 2 books. Again, cool. I have this. And then look at this cover. Huntress, Dark Knight Daughter. The Earth 2 Batman and Catwoman's Helena Wayne was trained by her parents to become a superb athlete and studied law with the hope of bringing criminals to justice. But after Catwoman is blackmailed to resume her life of crime leading to her death, spoiler, Helena dons a costume and crossbow to become the Huntress to avenge her mother. First of all, this looks like a Brian Boland cover to me, and it looks really awesome. So let me just check really quick. Is it a Brian Boland cover? It's probably about the time. When was this written? 2006. Covers, inkers, writer, pencilist. Where's the cover by Brian Boland? Okay, I mean, look at that. That is just awesome. I love that. I got this because I can't find my hardcover of it, and I love the story. It's somewhere here, probably with the Stumptown hardcovers, and that's the Great Darkness Saga. This is one of my all-time favorite Legion of Superheroes books. It'll do until I can find my hardcover. It was not expensive at all, and it will do until I can find my hardcover. Now here's a chunk of books upon which you may feel you need to lecture me on, because I know nothing about it. I've decided to get into the series because there's some other books in here from that time period that I think a lot of them contain good stories. Some of them not, some of them do. I kind of want to get educated and into these books. And I'm sure a lot of you out there, well, everybody out there has more knowledge than I do, because I know nothing about these. But I decided to pick up, since there were so many chunks of them together, I didn't want to piece them together off of eBay or Amazon. They were just right there, and I didn't have any of them. Is Gen 13. I already have the Adam Hughes one. This one's Gail Simone. I feel like I have another Gail. Yeah, there's another Gail Simone book. Somebody told me these have been collected into a deluxe. That's cool, but I have these. Gen 13, I Love New York. I could have duped on these. There could be duplicates in here. Stories that are collected somewhere else. I'll have to find out. Gen 13, Bootleg Volume 1, which collects Bootleg Volume 1, issues 1 through 4. So hopefully I don't double dip on any of these. Certainly possible. I'll take Manhattan, Gen 13. London, New York, Hell, Gen 13. Gen 13, Who They Are and How They Came to Be. Wait a second. This looks like Lee is in the first name on here, so... Ooh, this looks like... Written by Jim Lee and Brandon Choi, with penciled by Scott Campbell. Wow. Okay. This is super 90s, but that's okay. I don't care. I just want to read the stories. So it looks like there's a bunch of cool stories in these. Gen 13, Superhuman Like You. I think this is Adam Warren. Yeah, so Adam Warren has a different take. He's got a different style. Wait a sec, did he draw this too? Created by Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, blah, blah, blah. Cover art by Adam, blah, 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 blah. Written by Adam Warren. Art by Adam Warren, Chapter 1. Okay, so art by Adam Warren. Yeah, this is Adam Warren here. He does the first chapter. Okay, and then I got, this is Chris Claremont, Gen 13 September Song. Gen 13 World's End. Adam Warren has another one. Let's hope it's not what I just read. No. Okay. Gen 13 Meanwhile. A lot of Gen 13. It must have been popular. Gen 13 15 Minutes. So that's my stack. I don't think I have other Gen... No, this is my Gen 13 stack. It's okay if it's collected somewhere else. It's okay if these all suck. I don't care. I'm happy to find these, and I'm excited that they're in such good condition. So, blah, 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 blah. Me and Gen 13. Eventually, I'll read those in the next 3 years. Dead Enders, Ed Brubaker. I've been wanting to get this, but just haven't thought of it. And sorry, my computer blinked out. I hadn't thought of it. Um, Dead Enders is it's an Ed Brubaker book, so I saw it and it wasn't expensive, and I don't know, maybe it's cheaper on Amazon, but I found it at one of the honey holes, one of the 5 stores we went to. Every store, I found a huge chunk of great books. That was great. And then making sure that you all get a Sandman Mystery Theater omnibus. I got the rest of the Sandman Mystery Theaters that I didn't have, plus one I was not aware about. This, no wait, it's the top one. Sleep of Reason by John A. Raber, who wrote Books of Magic. I feel like it's unfinished, is what I've been told. It's not all collected. Now it will be in an omnibus. This is what I did for you guys. I bought the whole thing. Yes, I'm sure I could have found it cheaper elsewhere. Don't anybody tell me that. I just stop it. Because I know that's what you're going to do. Be happy for me that I found this. Sandman Mystery Theater. I am excited because I remember loving it in floppies. Next haul, Stormwatch. Now, I love the Stormwatch that I read, of course, by Warren Ellis, and I have heard mixed things about Stormwatch from New 52 and from Wildstorm. Well, I'm going to find out. I have other Stormwatch books. I found Team Achilles and Team Achilles 1 and Team Achilles 2 by Portasio, Wills Portasio. So, I mean, he's a great artist. I'm interested. I love the concept of Stormwatch. So, this is cool. And then I've been on a big New 52 kick. And so, here's all the Stormwatches that I could find for New 52. So I'm excited about those. Then we found, the minister and I, 2 out-of-print comics that we had never heard of. And we're fans of the writer, and we still never heard of them. But we found 2 copies of it. I have no idea what they are online, but it's No Hero from Avatar, and Wolfskin, which I think I had heard of No Hero, but I'd never heard of Wolfskin. Wolfskin, before history was recorded in stone and ink, some men wrote it in blood. From the time before history began, from the time when the continents were still connected by land, from the harsh climes at the top of the world, a northish soldier wrapped in a cape of wolf pelts walked south into the forests of the high Midlands that are now Europe. High Europe. To find a village cut in two by travelers from the east. Soon he too is torn between duty to the lives he has ruined just by finding them and duty to the hideous murder god of the northish wastes and the berserker drugs that are his sacrament. Okay. So, 2 copies each of these. We each got one. That's what great treasure places these were. We didn't have to fight over them. I don't think he and I would fight over anything, but one sec. Now you may say, of all these books, I mean, I still have this stack to go through. What are you most excited about? I went to hopefully find this book because I had just discovered it came out, and it came out a little while ago, but it's already selling for double of what it's a thin trade. I love Iron Fist, and this is The Immortal Iron Fists The Immortal Iron Fists. And, it's skinny, but it's already going for twice what it sells for. It's a $15 book, and the cheapest I could, after I discovered it, the cheapest I could see was $30 online, and that's what it was selling for. So I was really excited to get this because I was really excited to read it. So, boom, there it was at the very first honey hole. Very first honey hole, New Dimension Comics. We went to 3 New Dimension Comics in Pittsburgh. Then we went to someplace called like a Place in the Attic, and then Edie's. I'll ask Taylor and I'll put them in the description of, excuse me, the name of the places. But it was New Dimension Comics where we found lots of stuff. But we found stuff in every store. Then, New 52 kick. I did not have Resurrection Man. 1 and 2. I don't know if it goes further than that. I'll find out. Sitting right in front of me. It was dirt cheap and in perfect shape. I was excited. Here's a book that's way out of print, and I've needed it for a long time. Secret Six Villains United, because I didn't think I needed it. A chunk of it, I thought the whole thing was in Infinite Crisis collection, the big Herkin Omni, but some of it isn't. So I actually need this for my Secret Six run, and it's way expensive, and I was pumped to find this. Very excited to add this to my collection. Let me straighten things out down here. I don't want those perfect books. Speaking of Geo from A Week in Geekdom, he has FOMO baited me hard on Godzilla. I have been into Godzilla recently. He has got me hook, line, and sinker into Godzilla. This was Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, Volume 3. I don't even know where 1 and 2 are. I'll have to look for them, but it was a Godzilla book that I didn't know existed. Godzilla Gangsters and Goliaths? Gangsters? Yeah, okay, I'm into it. I had never even heard of it. Godzilla Oblivion. And this is also book 3, so I'm going to have to find the first 2, Godzilla. Now, some people wouldn't get 3 until they had 1 and 2. I decided to go for the sure thing on both of those 3s and make sure I got them. I have no idea what these are going for online, but I hadn't heard of them, and Geo said I did a good job getting them. That's good for me. It's good enough for me. Here's a book that Taylor showed me that he graciously let me have. I have no idea how it is, but I've never even heard of it. Phantom X Max. I love Phantom X, and I didn't even know he had his own book. Max? Cool. So I'm excited about this one. I really want to read this. This looks really boss. So yeah, I'm into it. Here's a series that didn't get finished, and I think that's why Taylor wasn't into it. I'm pretty sure it's good. I know it got made into a TV series, and then, I don't know, back in the 2000s. But Human Target by Peter Milligan. It didn't get finished, so that's extremely annoying, but I wanted to read volumes 1 and 2. They were hardly anything. They're so old. They're Vertigo books, and they're pretty chunky. And these, I don't ever see these going to many stores, so I decided to pick them up. I was happy to get this book because mine is trashed. The Sentry, and it is in beautiful shape. People give this mixed reviews. That's okay. I liked it. I thought it was really different. I like the writing. I like the art. I like the concept. It's one of those things that people seem to be divided on. That's okay. I'm happy to have it in this perfect shape. Awesome. Here are another two books that are that I have had in my collection, sold, had in my collection, sold, uh, had in my collection, sold because I thought there was going to be an omnibus of the whole thing. Wrong. So I had to pick up the first two Hitman books. They had plenty of these at all the stores we went to. All 7 or 8 volumes. I thought they were going to make an omnibus of this, and they made Hitman's Greatest Hits. If I want to read Hitman's Greatest Hits, I want to read volumes 1 through 8. I don't want, or 1 through 7, whatever it is. I don't want them to pick out stories. These are all great stories. This is some of Garth Ennis's most fun writing for DC. I love Hitman, and I had sold the copies in anticipation of an omnibus. Happy to get them back. Speaking of Garth Ennis, Taylor showed me this book, Streets of Glory. I have no idea about it. I don't know if it's in print or out of print. It was $18.99 and time was up. There are fences. This is from Avatar. So can I show this? Yeah. There are fences up all over the prairie. The bad men are dead or locked away. The West is coming to an end. But someone forgot to tell Joseph R. Dunn. At the tail end of a lifetime of violence, Joe Dunn arrives in the little town of Gladbach, Montana, in search of one last chance at peace. But the worst of the frontier has not quite disappeared. Okay, there's a story there. It's Garth Ennis telling a Western. I'm up for it. This sounds super interesting to me. I want to read it. I had number 2, but I didn't have number 1. Gambit, complete collection. Now that I got this, you're welcome. You're going to get an omnibus because this is in perfect shape. You can have your omnibus. You're welcome because now I have complete collection 1 and 2. Okay, Spectre, Wrath of God. My copy was trashed. I have volume 1. Wrath of God is not in good shape. These are John Ostrander stories. I enjoyed them a lot. Kind of sure these are hard to find. I think volume 1 really is, but I was pleased to find this. Here's a book I didn't have and didn't have any hopes of having because I had the trade of it. Dark Ages, Astro City. Dark Age, sorry. I have volume 2. Now I have volume 1 and 2. It's still in the cellophane. I didn't even know these came in cellophane. So this may be one of my most exciting finds. I'm not going to start it right away because I need to do a reread of everything I've read for Astro City. And there's like 18 volumes. Believe me, Pop is happy with this one. I could get these cheaper somewhere else, but they were right in front of me. And I just wanted them. Jeff Lemire's Justice League United. These are New 52 because I'm increasing my New 52 library. I'm realizing a little late how much I liked New 52. I loved Rebirth, but I liked New 52 a lot too. Looking forward to these. Jeff Lemire. And I feel like, yeah, it's set in Canada, of course. Justice League in Canada. Why not? I'm sure they're all playing hockey in the first volume. So, yeah, that's cool. And we're getting down to it. Thank you for sticking with me with this haul from Pittsburgh. The next one, Superboy, Boy of Steel. Jeff Johns, Francis Manipool. That sounds like a pretty good team. I feel like I've heard of this book and knew about it, but just never really thought about getting it. we saw multiple copies of this out on our trip. Um, so first of all, crypto's in it. I'm in. So I'm excited to read this book. I didn't have it. I have no idea if it's hard to find or not, but it wasn't expensive and I didn't have it. So I'm up for it. Here's a book that I know is hard to find. I don't know if it's expensive, and I'm sure I'm one of only 2 people who care about this book. Jack Kirby Omnibus Volume 1 Green Arrow. I don't think this has been collected in any of those big honkin' Jack Kirby books. That's okay. I don't have those big honkin' Jack Kirby books, so that's fine. I have the one with the extra stories. I forget what it's called now, with like OMAC or something in it, and some other stories. Some odds and ends. I have the Omni of that. I forget what it is called, but it doesn't matter. This is the book that I wanted because this is, I think, Golden Age almost. 1958. Okay, good. He brought his talents to bear on DC Comics' creatively static Green Arrow feature, and the resulting blend of action and science fiction redefined the iconic Emerald Archer for years to come. Pretty sure this is a great book. Psyched. So if I'm only one of 2 people that wants this one, there's only one person who wants this, and that's me. Atomic Knights from DC. Murphy Anderson art. John Broome writing. This is like science fiction, Silver Age gold. It doesn't say how many. This is actually kind of expensive for such a dinky little hardcover. This is something I bet Amazon has for 13 cents, but it was right in front of me. Murphy Anderson and John Broome knew how to write Silver Age stories. So I dig the Atomic Knights, and I'm excited to get it. Superior Foes of Spider-Man. My copy got beat up. Shelfware and ripped cover and everything. I read it so many times, it's almost falling apart. Shrink wrapped and new. Very happy. Same with Spider-Man Deadpool. This was given to us when we were... Omni Bros were getting free books from our sponsor. So I gave it away, thinking that it would get an omnibus, everything would be re-released as hardcover. No, it's this hardcover and a bunch of trades. So I had to get this back because I didn't have... I could have gotten the trades that it's in, but I had to get this because my collection was missing it. So I'm pleased to get this. And somebody asked me to get this for them. If they don't want it, I'll read it. Because the friend who asked me for this is very flaky. Who's that? Flaky? Werewolf by Night. Omni. They had it marked down from 125 to 90. Okay. That's cheap. And the friend's going to pay me 150 for it if he doesn't watch out. And then a book that, if I want to know about Wildstorm, I guess I got to know about this book. Absolute Wildcats. And it says by Jim Lee on it. And this is how stupid I am. I'm like, by Jim Lee. Oh, okay. I didn't know he was a writer. Well, apparently he's not. He's the artist, and that's the reason you buy this. But I dig the concept of Wildcats, like I dig the concept of Gen 13 and The Authority and all those other Wildstorm books. I think it sounds like books that I ignored in the 90s actually had a lot of really cool ideas and stuff in them. This was also marked down from 120, what was this, 125 to 90. Okay, I'll try it. It's part of my now it's the heart of my Wildstorm collection, which seems to be growing. So maybe Gabe Loves 90s Comics will be pleased with that. And then the last thing I got, uh, I bought it separately. We were on our way out of our last comic store, on our way to our milkshake at the Milkshake Factory in Pittsburgh, which is amazing. I spotted this, and it was $50, down from 80. And I looked at it, and it had an inch of dust on it. And I looked at it, and the guy goes, "Yeah, that was marked down from 80." And it's the guy, I bought so many books. I said, "Can you give me a box? Just give me a diamond box. Just give me a box." And he's like, "Well, I can sell you an old short box for $2. And I was like, "Okay, sell me your short box for $2 that you were going to throw out." So I got back at him. He said, "Yeah, this thing's $50. And I said, "Okay, I'll give you 40 for it." Marked down from 80. This is a Kotobukiya Batman Adventures Harley. I'm the only guy who's interested in it. So, so it's okay with me. It comes with some faces for her, and then some extra parts for the Joker. And I could care less about the Joker. But I got back at him for charging me $2 for that stupid box. So, there's my Pittsburgh haul. You guys should go to Pittsburgh. There's 20 comic book stores there. And I left a lot behind because I already owned it, but it was out of print, hard to find. There's some gems all over the place in Pittsburgh, PA. Have Taylor Brown write you up a map and tell you where to eat. Primanti Brothers. Childhood dream. What a great sandwich. So, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment. Keep them nice, please. I know I bought a bunch of books I know nothing about that I just wanted to enjoy. I just wanted to enjoy comics. I want you to enjoy comics. That's the whole deal. So feel free to leave a comment. And remember, peace and love. Peace and love. See you again soon.